Hey everyone, CCC Genesis here with another deck profile. I'm very reluctantly early doing this deck profile because I wanted to wait until the Ancient Knight set comes out to do a remastered version of this deck list. I just wanted to show you with the gameplay that I showed you on Monday, to show you how it worked out for my beta version. So I'm going to show you now the beta version of this deck, and once the new set comes out, which would be next week, hopefully I'll have a new remastered version of this list. So this is Shaelia. On her ruler side, she always makes it rain, which is pretty much almost useless. She has a tap effect to search weather change rain, which is also useless. I don't play that card in a deck. I basically took out the 4 cards because at best they were Upstart Goblin, and at worst they waste a deck slot that could be used on something good. So her J ruler side is draw a card. I'm still peeved at this. And the weather is always rain, so that's always a benefit, but not really, because I don't really have a lot of rain effects that matter if it's raining on your opponent's turn. I only have one card that matters if it's raining on your opponent's turn, and that's pretty much it. I'm really hoping the sealed item makes up for her lack of a ruler effect, honestly. As much as I like the design of Shaelia, she's really not a ruler worth playing. I'm only playing her because I like her design and I really want her to be good. So moving on, 4 Magic Stone Deepwood, 4 Kaguya Stone of Sorrow, and 2 Misty Wind Magic Stone. So we want, this is a blue-green deck, so we want maximum blue-green consistency. I wanted to splash in white at first, but I'm going to test out how blue-green worked out first. So I decided just to test out how blue-green worked out. It works out nice. It just really loses the aggro, with Kirik and Priscia still being out there. I might change that up. So these are basically the stones that, against control matchups, it doesn't matter. Life is irrelevant during control against control, but it really matters against aggro. So using these once or twice, 600 isn't going to really make a difference, but after that it does. But that's pretty much it. It's just consistency of colors. Plus the Kaguya Stone of Sorrow allows you to look at the top 2 cards of the deck, knowing what you're going to draw for potential plays. So moving on to Resonators. We have 4 Sacred Elf, just mana dork to help us ramp up to our late game strategy. 4 Angelic Voice Mermaid. She is basically a Tama, where she just draws a card and that's it when it's raining. So the weather has to be rain. In order for you to draw a card, she's a 3/3 body. Decent stats. Wish she was a 3/4 maybe, or maybe a 3/4 would have been nice, you know. But oh well. Next we have 4 Melfies. Melfies is actually the only 2-drop resonator in the deck that we have. Just for the same fact that is a mana dork, we need a mana dork for our late game strategies to help us ramp up a bit faster to outpace our opponents, especially during the aggro matches. Also, her Torrent effect is actually very useful in certain matches, being able to lock out Kirik's ability, or not take lethal damage and such nuts. You can also do battle trick combat tricks with her if you played other cards that turn. Be mindful that it is very susceptible to severing winds. Our 3-drop is Aqua Rifle Mermaid. Just on your turn, it's a bounce effect. It bounces to your hand. 3 mana 7/7 is pretty average stats. Bouncing to the hand is pretty nice. Wish it was bounced to the top of the deck, but then it'll be way too good. It'd be way too good if it was bounced to the top of the deck. Next I played 2 Giants. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. So that will insult a lot of people most likely. But this is one of my favorite cards of the Bengal 3 set that I've been dying to try out. And I decided to try it out in Shaelia because I decided just to play pure blue-green. I've sort of wanted to move this up to maybe 3, but 2 is just fine for now. If I ever get a third one, I'll probably try it out. But it cancels target resonator spell, which is very nice to have because there are very important resonators that I would like to hit. Like Grim, Blackheart Alice, Gil Lapis. But there are times where it just basically does nothing in certain matchups, so it's an easy side deck card. And if you have your mana dorks up, it's very easy to have it out. 3 Charlottes. Charlotte's basically the win condition of the deck. Because you're usually going to have a big hand size. Usually. Not always guaranteed to have a big hand size. But she's a very strong resonator by herself. She can win games by herself. She's very hard to remove unless you have AoE effects like Eternal Recurrence, Final Battle, the new Golem, the new white field wipe that's coming out for a Golem tribal deck basically, which I can't wait to use as well. Two Wave Rider Mermaid. I like her. I just really wish that she wasn't a vanilla on your opponent's turn. Or maybe the fact that maybe she... Like, I know being able to rest J-Ruler would be too broken, I guess, for a 4-drop. But I believe the 4 mana dragon also burns J-Rulers as well for 2 red mana. But I can understand being able to rest a J-Ruler is actually stronger than being able to burn it because you have to use multiple mana to burn it rather than being able just to rest it for an entire turn. But yeah, she pays 2 blue to rest it, to rest Resonator as long as its weather is rain. So the effect is only going to be able to be activated on your turn because I do not play weather change rain here. But she's a 12/12. She's a 12/12 flyer, which is very strong in my opinion. 2 Captain Hooks. I would play 3 if I apparently can't find the third one, but yeah, Captain Hook, very strong resonator. Target 2 special stones, put it to the top of the deck, or target 2 resonators, put them back to the owner's hand. It is the card that basically puts us ahead. If we are ahead, we're even more ahead, and it gives us back a catch-up mechanic if we're behind, if we can survive against aggro. But usually against aggro, you're going to be using the mermaid engine to basically try to survive. And then the last card is 1 Frigg. Frigg basically regrabs our spells, a spell, a resonator, and the one addition that we actually play in this deck. I felt like I wanted to play Wind Secluded Refuge. I still probably will be playing Wind Secluded Refuges once I get more of them. But Frigg has been a very strong card. I've also been wanting to try out white just to put in Kaguya Moonbeam Butterfly so I can grab Friggs or the hooks out for the deck whenever I necessarily need them. And on to spells. 4 Millennium Bond. This card is our negate normal spells, well, chant spells because it can't negate an addition, sadly. So if they have an addition, you're basically the only way to cancel it is to Severing Winds. Unfortunately, I do not have banishes because I never bought the Green Star deck. I probably will eventually buy the Vanish as singles and try out Vanish inside the main deck eventually. But for now, this is how the deck is going to be. And then it also replaces itself as a draw spell, so that's very useful for us. So we can protect our stuff and be able to recycle our stuff. 3 Blue Planet is basically just to cycle, as well as giving our big boss resonators quick cast like Hook and Frigg. Because most of the spells I run are going to be instant speed anyway. So being able to have our resonators at instant speed like Frigg, being able to play Frigg, grab back a Severing Winds and a resonator whenever we need, and then on your second card be able to Severing Winds is very good. At seal 7, so once you get to 7 stones, which is relatively not hard to do, it's basically just 7 turns. If I had mana ramp, which I do want to include eventually, maybe, it would be a lot easier. Again, this deck is in beta. 3 detachment. Yeah, just 3 detachment. This card has been basically my savior of the deck. Being able to put target attacking resonator to the top or bottom. So against aggro, I don't want to see the boars from, like, you know, the new boar, the new Lancelot. I don't want to see that happening, so I just put it to the bottom of the deck. So it makes my life a lot easier. And if the cards I want them to have again on the top of the deck, I just put it back to the top of the deck and let them draw that. So I stun the draw, or I get rid of the card I don't want to see. Next. 2, Stormbolt. Stormbolt is actually more useful than I thought it was later in terms of the game. When you actually have an established board and you want to do some trading. Like, being able to prevent the damage dealt by J/Resonator is really strong because you're able to get those free trades. Or if they try to do like a burn effect onto your ruler or minus effects onto your cards as you attempt to trade. So you at least don't lose anything for doing it. It replaces itself, and as long as it's raining, so you're obviously gonna be doing this on your turn unless you have a Shaelia out and Blue Planet at turn 7 to be able to do something like this. It's most likely just gonna be always on your turn. But either way, it's still. I actually like this card. It's been doing a lot of work for me. 4 Cleansing Rain. When it's raining, it has the effect to put it to the top of the deck. Otherwise, it goes back to your owner's hand. You can also use this to recycle your own resonators, like Hook, like I did in the video where he tried to remove Hook. I just put it back to my hand. So you're able to use this on your own stuff as well as your opponent's stuff. So that's the versatility of this card. So it's able to protect your stuff, bounce back your stuff that you want to recycle or keep for later, like I would like to recycle Frigg or Hook. Exactly. Like if they're about to final battle Charlotte, you don't have a cancel spell, but you have enough open mana to play Cleansing Rain, you put Charlotte back to your hand, so you waste like 20 life or X amount of life to kill a Charlotte to be put back in your hand, basically. Also, in the aggro matchup, putting back Resonators to the hand is not as important as putting it to the top of the deck. I'd rather... So, keep that in mind. I only had 2 Severy Winds. I would recommend a 3 to 4 of, but I only had the 2. So, if you want, you could put 3 to 4 Severy Winds. I recommend at least 3. Sign the 4th one at most. This card is so good. It helps so much. And I can't say much more about it because there's already so much to be said about Severy Winds, how good of a card it is. And that's basically the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry that it sounded very negative towards Shaelia, but when you saw rulers like Kirik that could do so much, Rhea that could do so much as well, I at least wanted Shaelia to do something else. When Kirik could remove 10 counters from himself and then get back 15 counters immediately, so he removed 2 things already and can still remove another thing, and also able to kill a J Ruler. I really hope Shaelia could have done more. And I hope that the sealed item actually makes her a better ruler. Because if I wanted to play a draw card effect, I'd just play Flute or Charlotte. Because Flute is on tap, draw a card. Charlotte's on J activate, J's Judgmenting, draw up to 5 cards in hand. Like, there's so much they could have done with Shaelia, like, it disappoints me. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry again for being negative on Shaelia. I do like her. I love her design. That's the reason why I'm playing her. And I hope that she does become better. See you guys next time.